In my mind, I realized that the day that they passed that health care bill, they knew that they were stepping into the abyss. That they knew that the American people said, "We've given you fair warning. We've given you fair warning." And they didn't take our advice. And so Nancy Pelosi did something that in my mind, I knew that they were going to do something the day before they voted. Do you remember when there was 40,000 people in front of the Capitol? And you started hearing words that the Congressional Black Caucus was called the N-word 15 times by 15 people, and that the Congressional Black Caucus, Congressmen Carson, Lewis, and Cleaver were spit on, and Barney Frank said that he was called a homophobic aspersion. And then later in the day, if this was such a violent Janet Napolitano condemned area of American citizens, why did she walk through there with that big shit-eating grin with that gavel? Because she knew that she needed to get a YouTube moment in which one person or two people overreacted so that they could hang you with that misbehavior. And when they didn't get it, they made it up, and the mainstream media continues to this day to lie about the American people. At a certain point, enough is enough. At a certain point, we don't say they're misguided. At a certain point, you don't say they're biased. At a certain point, they've declared that they're the enemy of the American people. It's not why I'm not invited on TV that much. How do I know this? They're my neighbors. I live in LA. I go to cocktail parties. And they go, "I think that the people in flyover country are dumb." I go, "Did you just say that? You work at ABC News." They don't like you. And that pisses me off. Because without you, there would be no America. Without you, there would be no Porsche Targas, and Whole Foods, and their Pilates sessions with private trainers. Without you, that wouldn't exist. They don't get it. And for 40 years, we allowed for them to take over our culture. And I want to tell you this thing before I leave, because this is why I believe that this is a very, 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 very real movement that is going to transcend the election. It started before the first Tea Party. The people that motivate me the most are a growing group of patriots out in Hollywood who 40 years ago allowed for the hope and change to come into Hollywood. At the tail end of the Jimmy Stewart era and the John Wayne era, the radical leftists came into Hollywood with hope and change. And that hope and change was distilled down into the basics: nihilism, sex, sarcasm, snarkiness, and it extracted the American experience, the hard work. That what the patriots that created Hollywood made America a beacon of hope for people around the world. And those self-hating cultural Marxists came into Hollywood and they undermined our culture. And we didn't fight back. We didn't fight back. But there is a growing group of people out there in Hollywood who are you. They're famous. They're actors, they're writers, they're directors, they're musicians, they're punk rockers, they're black, white, purple, gay. They want to save this country too. And that happened before the Tea Party happened, because like dogs before an earthquake, or whatever the proper dog natural disaster, is it dogs and earthquakes? I don't know. Rats and tsunamis? I don't know. Okay. They understood. Hope and change does not come from people on the left. A boot in the neck is what comes to these people, because these people can't make the movies that say that this is a good country, that tells people that we stand for what is good. These people are nihilists. These people hate you. And there's only one thing we can do, and that is, after 40 years, reluctantly, but with great enthusiasm, engage in the war that they started against us. That is what is at stake here. And I cannot begin to tell you how much I appreciate that you come out for this country like this. I am one of you. I do not have a fancy, everybody says, oh, you're a media mogul. If I'm a media mogul, why do I have 2 car payments and a mortgage I can't afford? Because I live in LA. That was the answer. I know. People go, hey, somebody said to me, I have a 40,000 square foot house. Oh my God. I got to move to Houston. Thank you very much for having me. One word of encouragement. I have 9 employees. How does one take on the U.S. government? How does one take on the culture with only 9 employees when the other companies that I'm fighting against have large buildings with hundreds of people? It's a simple business model that's working brilliantly. I have you. You are my reporters. You are my eyes. You are my video camcorders. You are the ones that capture the beatings that the SCIU deliver. You are the ones that film when I walk into a crowd and they say, stop the hate, stop the hate. And then I start asking them basic questions like, what does your sign mean? And the people chanting stop the hate say, I think he's gay. I'm like, hey, that's an impressive stop the hate rally. None of these stories would be revealed but for you. You are now the media. You are now Rush Limbaugh. You are now Matt Drudge. And the American media does not know what's happening as their business model goes like this, as Katie Couric looks up at her disastrous ratings, as Jonathan Klein and David Weston and Jeff Pollock have joined the 9.6% of America on the unemployment line. You are the ones that put them there. You are the ones that put them there. And that is why I came here to thank you. Thank you very much.
Andrew Breitbart, ladies and gentlemen. Breitbart.com and about 15 other websites.